This is a sports book.
All right, so before we leave here, what did you bet on?
Today I bet on Utah Jazz against the Detroit Pistons for the first half.
All right. Did you win?
Yeah, I bet 100,000 on 190.
Didn't I tell you you were going to win? Didn't I tell you that? You forgot about that, right?
We're going to drive over here, Steve. I'm going to show you one of my places. I own a place in here.
All right.
My penthouse.
Absolutely.
When athletes can get on my level and people in business can get on my level, that's when they will always win. Because Floyd Mayweather don't. I believe in self-preservation. Me first. Me first. Then everyone else. But me first. Nobody's going to love Floyd Mayweather like Floyd Mayweather. Nobody's going to like Floyd Mayweather like Floyd Mayweather.
In the end, you have a contingent out there trying to convince the world that Manny needs to beat you because you are bad for the sport. To that you say what?
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Floyd Mayweather lives for Floyd Mayweather, no matter what no one says. A business mind. Whether you pay to see me lose, whether you pay to see me win, you're paying, and I'm collecting.
It's the Bugatti. It's the Bentley. It's the house. It's the penthouse suite. It's the money. It's $90,000 in 5 minutes because Utah won by 5 points in the first half.
But guess
it's
what?
all of that.
But guess what? Everything I got by hard work.
I know.
I didn't go out there and rob nobody for everything I got.
But we ain't talking about that. We're saying they're jealous. And people can be jealous. People can be envious because they don't have what you have.
It's jealous because I did it the American way?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I pay my taxes.
It ain't wrong.
The thing is this, but we got what's crazy is this. They say, oh, don't do it Floyd way. But then they say, don't look up to an athlete like Floyd who got it the honest way. But then when the kids say, okay, we don't want to look up to Floyd, we're going to look up to the guy down the street that got the Mercedes or the Bentley that done the illegal way. Then the kid go to prison, they're going to say, damn, he should have done it Floyd way. He was stupid. So it's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. Come on, man.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Every move that I made in my life, I didn't do it with the thoughts of just worrying only about Floyd. When you self-made, you appreciate it a lot more. And I'm self-made, so where I'm at, I appreciate my position. And I don't take nothing for granted. That's what I always tell my daughter. I said, never take nothing for granted, baby.
I can't look away from this. Stephen A. Smith, 4 times a heavyweight champion of the world. Evander Holyfield. How much time did you spend with?
7.5 hours.
What's your biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is, number one, he wants folks to recognize and appreciate the fact that he worked incredibly hard to get to where he is. He didn't receive any handouts. He wasn't cut any breaks. And he doesn't mind expressing his resentfulness towards folks who don't want to recognize it.
Clearly, yeah.
He doesn't mind.
No problem with that.
He what he's saying is, make no. I was 2 years old. My whole life has been because it's supposed to epitomize for people that don't get that message.
Historically, the sport has been filled with characters that are not afraid to express their opinions of themselves. You've been around it, Evander, your whole life. You've seen boastful fighters come and go. What's your take on this machine who seems to almost take it to another level?
Well, everybody has their own opinion. We have a will. Everybody have a will to do this and do that, and that's what you do. It's all in what you believe. You know, me coming up, I came up poor, and it's what my mama told me. Humble yourself, son. A good attitude will carry you a lot farther than your talent. Your talent gonna run out at some point in time. Then what's gonna happen?
Well, The flip side to that is this. Evander Holyfield has every right to feel the way that he feels, and he wasn't wrong for feeling that way. But when you look at a Floyd and so many other fighters, his contemporaries, even individuals that he went against, we have to remember that you're talking about a sport who celebrates that, who uses that.
It does,
to monetize the brand of boxing and a particular fighter. If Floyd Mayweather was 47-0, but he had Evander Holyfield's humility, Floyd Mayweather would not be worth over $500 million.
And there probably wouldn't be the interest that there is in this fight.
And there wouldn't be the interest in this fight that there would be in. It worked for Evander because Evander not only was in the heavyweight division,
That's a big difference.
Evander went against the Mike Tysons, the Lennox Lewises of the world, the Riddick Bowe's of the world, the trilogy versus Riddick Bowe, all of this other stuff. Floyd Mayweather in the welterweight division. Remember, there's no Sugar Ray, there's no Hearns. You understand Roberto Duran, guys like that.
His personality has to sell.
Well, your personality has to sell. And in the sport of boxing, particularly when you're a void of vicious one-punch knockout power, your personality really has to sell. Because if you don't have that one-punch knockout, Hearns didn't have to be that way. Hearns hit you with the right hand.
Yeah.
It was good knock.
Hitman.
You understand? He was the hitman.
Sure.
But Floyd is a boxing genius, particularly defensively. So it's not just his game and his skills that he has to sell. It's his personality.
Let's talk about this fight. Unbeaten boxers. The sport doesn't like them. You have said this, Evander. Stephen A., I know you have said, too, that you think Pacquiao has a slight advantage because the sport of boxing doesn't like anyone to get out unbeaten.
Correct. I truly feel that way. I realized when I was undefeated, I didn't think nobody could beat me. I didn't think nobody with two hands. And two Riddick Bowe did it.
Right. Yeah.
Like that. But then I had to make a comeback to show him that, you know.
And that's what boxing wants, right? They want another. They want Mayweather to lose and then fight again.
But you
Is that
must
correct?
be, yes, but you must be careful. Must be careful here because you got to take the personalities into consideration. They wanted the same thing when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Hagler, but they forgot the man Hagler was. Hagler is incredibly prideful. Hagler had to work his way up. Hagler was a champion for many, many years, devoid of the necessary recognition. It wasn't until he knocked out Tommy Hitman Hearns in that third round when they had that epic first round, which was the greatest first round most of us had ever seen. It wasn't until then that he got his recognition. But there were years upon years he was fighting. He never received that recognition. So he fights against Sugar Ray Leonard, who's coming out of retirement after the retina injury and all of this other stuff. And everybody thought that Sugar Ray Leonard was going to get killed. And what happens? He boxed. He ended up surviving. He ultimately won that fight. Hagler, to this very day, felt robbed. Everybody was looking for the sequel. Hagler said, oh, no, no sequel. Y'all ain't doing this to me. All of these years I worked hard. You going to rob me like this? Goodbye.
Sugar Ray was here a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, he was.
And he said he has relationships with all of his former rivals.
That's right.
But there is not a relationship between those two guys because this is something that haunts Hagler to this day.
Hagler feels cheated. Hagler felt robbed. He's never forgiven the sport of boxing for it. And Floyd Mayweather may very well have that mentality. If Floyd, first of all, I don't think Floyd's going to lose. But if he were to lose, but he lost fair and square, it would pain him, it would kill him, or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, he can live with it when you've reaped the success he's reaped. If Vegas robs Floyd Mayweather, it's a different mindset. He might not come back.
Do you think that's in Mayweather's mind? He's not new. He's been around for a long time. He knows boxing likes it when an undefeated boxer goes down. Do you think that's in his mind, Evander?
I'm sure it have to go across his mind. Yeah, he's a smart guy. I'm telling you, he did some incredible things no boxer ever done. He have. And the fact of the matter, it got to come through his mind. And so if it comes to your mind, this is the way you feel.
Here's the deal. It does come across the Floyd Mayweather's mind, but he's not concerned. And here's why he's not
Will it change
concerned.
the way he fights?
I don't think it will because it won't have to. Manny Pacquiao Floyd specifically said in my piece that he had yesterday, he said Manny does not know how to go into survival mode.
Right.
In other words, if Manny gets hurt, he don't know how to run. He doesn't know how to back up. You can speak to this because Mike Tyson was coming in and you caught him with your right hand before he caught you, and he backed him and fell back, and then ultimately the fight got stopped in the 11th round, TKO. Mike Tyson did not know how to back up. So if you're Evander Holyfield, I remember what you said before that fight. What did you say? Styles make fights. Y'all keep talking about Mike Tyson. Well, guess what? What is he going to do when somebody's not running and they're standing in front of him? That's what Evander did. Floyd is looking at Pacquiao and he's saying, you're going to be in attack mode. What are you going to do when I'm not backing up? When I catch you with this check hook? When I catch you coming in? When you think your speed is going to usurp mine and you find out suddenly it's not, because you've been chirping and chirping and chirping with your Foot Locker commercials and Top Rank and Bob Aaron talking all of this smack and all these other people talking junk. What you gonna do when you get in the ring and you finally are face to face with this man you've been talking about?
You think Pacquiao, he doesn't know how to go into survival mode?
Well, if you don't never have to go in survival mode, then why? I'm like, my whole thing, I didn't have no survival mode. All I knew was to go forward, and that's it. And that's the reason why I'm who I am.
Evander, it's been a while since we've seen a fight of this magnitude, and this is great for the sport of boxing that the super fight is back on the big stage. But there are very few people alive on this planet that understands exactly what Mayweather and Pacquiao are going through right now with this huge buildup. And next week, you will not be able to escape talk of this fight. What are they going through right now?
Well, they're going through a lot because this thing rehearsing your mind over and over and over. You know, to be a great fighter, you have to be a good actor. You act like things don't even bother you, and it's bothering the daylight side, but you can't show it. You can't show it. You can't. In the ring, you can't show it.
Do you hear the outside noise in the buildup leading up to it?
I hear everything that they say. I hear people talking about me, talking about them, knock them out, and it's amazing. After all the people, why do you hear the bad? Everything that's bad is negative. But you have to block it out. You have to keep blocking out. You got to keep doing it over and over.
There's two things to consider here. On Manny Pacquiao's side, you have a situation where the world is stacked against Floyd Mayweather from the standpoint you're 47-0. It took us years to make this fight. The perception is, you know, that you were running from me, etc. Floyd's undefeated, and the belief is that he's been running from that one potential loss. That's what it is. And Manny Pacquiao, whereas he has 5 losses on his resume, he knows how to deal with a loss. Clearly, he came back from getting put to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? You know, just remnants of Ambien for crying out loud. I mean, listen, he came back. But what Manny doesn't realize is Manny has also added additional pressure on himself, because when you talk about his spirituality and the spiritual conversion and cleaning up the sport of boxing and all of this other stuff that Freddie Roach has said, that Bob Arum has alluded to, that Manny Pacquiao himself has come, well, you've put yourself in a situation where you've added some extra pressure on yourself to win this fight as well. We'll see who responds to what.
Okay. Nobody can run and go in survival mode. Who wins?
Mayweather, TKO, 11th.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's the reason I'm going
I need
to
a
the fight. I just can't just choose to put myself in that situation.
Well, don't make a prediction. Who do you think is the better fighter with them both sharing the same ring?
I got both of the guys are good. Both of the guys are good, but I know only way people lose when they make mistakes. And so I don't know.
Who's more likely to make that mistake in your mind?
Well, both people fight the same way. Because the counterpuncher is, if he stay there, I feel that if Floyd stay in the counterpuncher mode, then there's a chance that
Floyd will win.
No.
Pacquiao will win.
Pacquiao will win. He's in the counterpunch.
Okay.
But
I'm going to sit there and tell you right now. I'm going to interrupt Evander Holyfield. Floyd Mayweather in the 11th. You don't want to say it the real deal, Holyfield. That's okay. That's okay. You know why? Because, listen, you know, when the world was stacked against you, you found a way. Regardless of the people talking about Mayweather's the favorite, Mayweather knows most everybody. They can see, they look at him flossing, they look at his riches, his wealth, and all of it. They resent him for it. They want him to fall. And that's all you need as a boxer. It's one thing for people to assume you're going to lose. It's another thing for them to want you to lose.
Does it surprise you how loose Pacquiao is?
Not at all, because he's a veteran. He's been on a big stage before. And what do you have to lose? I mean, you don't anticipate
House money here.
You don't anticipate getting put to sleep again, even if you lose. If you get up in 12 seconds instead of 10, at least you were standing at the end without smelling salts waking you up. He'll be just fine. But in the end, what it comes down to is that he looks very calm. He's a seasoned veteran. This big stage is not foreign to him. But like Floyd Mayweather said, this stage is different than any other stage he's ever had to encounter, because this is going up against me. I believe Floyd, and I believe he will win this fight.
All right, we can't let the heavyweight go without talking about the heavyweight bout that's on the line this weekend as well. And Klitschko and Jennings, how important is it for the sport of boxing that an American dominate the heavyweight division?
Well, I think dominating is gone. I don't think we'll ever dominate it again.
Why?
Yeah, but the fact of the matter, we got to do the amateur program. We have to do something for the amateur and get the people at a young age to learn how to fight and learn how to make adjustments. And this is the reason why we dominate before, because we had a great amateur program. Today, we don't have a good amateur program. You know, you got people just jump in saying, you know, I'm strong and I got muscles and I think if I hit that guy, I'd knock him out.
Are other sports stealing potential boxers away, though?
I'm not sure about that. I think what's happening is that the notoriety and the attention that used to exist in boxing, because of the wide world of sports, right here on ABC, it was on network television. Everything wasn't pay-per-view. The rankings, exactly.
Yeah, well, your time with Floyd could change that. Young kids could see that and say, that's my path.
That's my personal mission. Outside of basketball, boxing is my love, and it's my personal mission to assist in getting boxing back on network television when the days of Howard Cosell was doing it. I love boxing, and I think that it teaches a lot of discipline to these young kids out there. It's a special thing, but you got to keep in mind, unfortunately, the heavyweight division is the most attractive division. And when you talk about heavyweights, the reason why the Klitschkos have dominated, I mean, they walk into the ring, they're about 5, 6 inches taller than everybody, with about 30 to 40 pound weight advantage. I mean, it's ridiculous. Look at how big he is. And I'm saying that's the kind of stuff that can't happen. Back in the day, that didn't exist. Even George Foreman, who was arguably the most menacing boxer in the history of the sport in his heyday, was walking around at 220 at the time.
Right.
Tyson was at 220. You got these guys walking in the ring at 250, 260. If the welterweight division, they're talking about a difference between 154 and 147. But you're going to let a guy walk into a ring, he at 220, and the Klitschko's at 260.
Wow.
What the hell do you expect? Nobody's going to, there's no match.
You want a super heavyweight division?
I don't.
Why does this make you laugh, Evander?
You are chuckling at this.
Because, you know,
it's always been that way.
You know, it's always been that way. When you're quicker, when you're smaller, if you learn how to fight, you can do something they can't do.
Okay.
You beat him to the punch.
Beat him to a punch?
Yeah.
Beat him to a punch. You can beat him to a whole bunch of punches. All you got, if you got a 40-pound
it's going to take a whole bunch of. It's going to take a whole bunch.
Lord, all you got to do is catch you once. Come on, y'all.
The smaller guys always beat the bigger guys all the time.
That is not true.
What?
That is not true. Did you beat Lennox Lewis? I thought you lost to Lennox Lewis. Wasn't he bigger than you?
Wait, Lennox Lewis that beat me the second time, man.
He beat you the first time. He beat you the first time. That's what I remember. I remember that. Real deal.
The first time, but he didn't win that second one. You see the look on his face?
Okay. Did Riddick Bowe win 2 out of 3?
Yeah, he sure did.
Was he a bigger boy than you? Didn't he have you about 20, 30 pounds?
But that size didn't make a difference. The size didn't make a difference. It's just I was sick the third time. That's it. I was sick the third time.
Stephen A., you're sitting awfully close to the man to bring that stuff up.
I love him, man. He's the real deal. But come on now. I'm talking 40 pounds.
I'm saying, but as a heavyweight, you still got the power.
You beat plenty of fighters that were bigger than you.
But that's what I'm saying. Your chin just comes.
I understand that, but the odds are stacked against you if you had a 40-pound disadvantage. Right?
Well, I'm telling you, if the skill level is the same, at some point of level, you know, I'm just
supposed to be a level playing field. You're asking for a lot for a guy to go into the ring with a guy 40 pounds heavier than him.
Well, you know,
come on now.
Then why are you in there? Then you should
well,
know
when you fought at the light heavyweight division and you moved up to heavyweight. Did you gain weight to fight at the heavyweight division? You didn't go in there at 175 pounds.
When I fought My first heavyweight fight, I weighed 206.
Barely made,
and
yeah.
I probably weighed 195.
That's right.
yeah.
And what was the other guy winning?
Well, we were I think Buster Douglas was
230?
We ain't counting Buster Douglas. We ain't counting Buster Douglas.
Well,
come on now.
Come on now.
He did fight now.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And George Foreman. George
George Foreman was 44, 45 years old? Come on now.
But still.
I tell you this, at 52, Evander is in great shape.
Yes,
we
he
talked
is.
before the
Evander,
show. He could still get in there.
Holyfield was the first thing I ever covered out of college.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep.
How about
Yep.
that?
And I'm with Stephen. George's. I couldn't believe that man was going to fight.
Yeah.
He was big and he was.
I don't understand you sometimes.
All right.
How do you debate with me on these things?
Why?
He's a professional debater, Evander.
I'm just telling you.
You're lucky he's just debating with you, Stephen.
That's my man. I know you're not gonna hit me.
Because I don't hit nobody for free anyway.
That's right. That's right.
Wait,
and it wouldn't cost them.
So we could put together an exhibition.
We could get a few people to pay.
I will say this though. I'd last longer than Michael Spinks did against Tyson. I can run more
Was
than
it 93 seconds?
91.
91 seconds.
I could run for 91 seconds. I could run from you for 91 seconds.
I would pay to see that. I would love to see that.
And I certainly would run. Absolutely.
Skip just came in carrying his wallet.
Yeah, I think Skip would pay for it too. Stephen A., great work with the All Access stuff. Evander, very good to see you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the fight. 9 days away.
I'll see you later, man.
Okay.
Good Lord.
All right, it's 9 days away. Friday, the best of Floyd and Manny in their own words as the two prepare for what we hope will be an epic fight on May 2nd.
He knows